Hadīth 1. Narrated Ibn Abbas, when the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, got up at night to offer the Tahajjud prayer, he used to say, what means, O Allah, all the praises are for you, you are the holder of the heavens and the earth, and whatever is in them. All the praises are for you, you have the possession of the heavens and the earth and whatever is in them. All the praises are for you, you are the light of the heavens and the earth. And all the praises are for you, you are the king of the heavens and the earth. And all the praises are for you, you are the truth and your promise is the truth, and to meet you is true, your word is the truth, and paradise is true, and hell is true, and all the prophets, peace be upon them, are true, and Muhammad is true, and the day of resurrection is true. O Allah, I surrender, my will, to you, I believe in you and depend on you. And repent to you, and with your help I argue, with my opponents, the non-believers, and I take you as a judge, to judge between us. Please forgive me my previous and future sins, and whatever I concealed or revealed, and you are the one who makes, some people, forward and, some, backward. There is none to be worshipped but you. Sufyan said that Abdul Karim Abu Umayyah added to the above, there is neither might nor power except with Allah. Hadīth 2. Narrated Salam's father, in the lifetime of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, whosoever saw a dream would narrate it to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. I had a wish of seeing a dream to narrate it to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. I was a grown-up boy and used to sleep in the mosque in the lifetime of the Prophet. I saw in the dream that two angels caught hold of me and took me to the fire, which was built all round like a built well, and had two poles in it, and the people in it were known to me. I started saying, I seek refuge with Allah from the fire. Then I met another angel who told me not to be afraid. I narrated the dream to Hafsa, who told it to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. The Prophet said, Abdullāh is a good man. I wish he prayed Tahajjud. After that Abdullāh, that is, Salam's father, used to sleep but a little at night. Hadīth 3. Narrated Aisha, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, used to offer 11 Rak'at, and that was his prayer. He used to prolong the prostration to such an extent that one could recite 50 verses, of the Quran, before he would lift his head. He used to pray 2 Rak'at, Sunnah, before the Fajr prayer, and then used to lie down on his right side till the call-maker came and informed him about the prayer. Hadīth 4. Narrated Jundub, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, became sick and did not get up, for Tahajjud prayer, for a night or two. Hadīth 5. Narrated Jundub bin Abdullāh, Gabriel did not come to the Prophet, for some time, and so one of the Quraysh women said, his Satan has deserted him. So came the divine revelation, by the forenoon. And by the night when it is still. Your Lord, O Muhammad, has neither forsaken you, nor hated you. Surah 93, Ayat 1-3. Hadīth 6. Narrated Salama, one night the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, got up and said, Subhanallah. How many afflictions Allah has revealed tonight, and how many treasures have been sent down, disclosed. Go and wake the sleeping lady occupants of these dwellings up, for prayers, perhaps a well-dressed in this world may be naked in the hereafter. Hadīth 7. Narrated Ali bin Abi Talib, one night Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, came to me and Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and asked, won't you pray, at night? I said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. Our souls are in the hands of Allah, and if He wants us to get up He will make us get up. When I said that, He left us without saying anything, and I heard that he was hitting his thigh and saying, but man is more quarrelsome than anything. Surah 18, Ayah 54. Hadīth 8. Narrated Aisha, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, used to give up a good deed, although he loved to do it, for fear that people might act on it, and it might be made compulsory for them. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, never prayed the Duha prayer, but I offer it. Hadith 9. Narrated Aisha, the mother of the faithful believers, one night, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, offered the prayer in the mosque, and the people followed him. The next night, he also offered the prayer, and too many people gathered. On the third and the fourth nights, more people gathered, but Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, did not come out to them. In the morning he said, I saw what you were doing, and nothing but the fear that it, that is, the prayer, might be enjoined on you, stopped me from coming to you. And that happened in the month of Ramadan. Hadith 10. Narrated Al-Mughira, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to stand, in the prayer, or pray till both his feet or legs swelled. He was asked why he offered such an unbearable prayer, and he said, should I not be a thankful slave? Hadith 11. Narrated Abdullāh bin Amr bin al-As, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, told me, the most beloved prayer to Allah is that of David, and the most beloved fasts to Allah are those of David. He used to sleep for half of the night and then pray for 1/3 of the night and again sleep for its 6th part, and used to fast on alternate days. Hadith 12. Narrated Masruq, I asked Aisha which deed was most loved by the Prophet. She said, a deed done continuously. I further asked, when did he used to get up, in the night for the prayer? She said, he used to get up on hearing the crowing of a cock. Hadith 13. Narrated Al-Ash'ath, he, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to get up for the prayer on hearing the crowing of a cock. Hadith 14. Narrated Aisha, in my house, he, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, never passed the last hours of the night but sleeping. Hadith 15. Narrated Qatada, Anas bin Malik said, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and Zayd bin Thabit took their suhur together. When they finished it, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, stood for the Fajr prayer and offered it. We asked Anas, what was the interval between their finishing the suhur and the starting of the morning prayer? Anas replied, it was equal to the time taken by a person in reciting 50 verses of the Quran. Hadith 16. Narrated Abu Wa'il, Abdullāh said, one night, I offered the Tahajjud prayer with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and he kept on standing till an ill thought came to me. We said, what was the ill thought? He said, it was to sit down and leave the Prophet, standing. Hadith 17. Narrated Hudayfa, whenever the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, got up for Tahajjud prayer, he used to clean his mouth and teeth with siwak. Hadith 18. Narrated Abdullāh bin Umar, a man said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. How is the prayer of the night? He said, 2 Rak'at, followed by 2 Rak'at and so on, and when you apprehend the approaching dawn, offer 1 Rak'ah as witr. Hadith 19. Narrated Ibn Abbas, the prayer of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to be of 13 Rak'at, that is, of the night prayer. Hadith 20. Narrated Masruq, I asked Aisha about the night prayer of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and she said, it was 7, 9 or 11 Rak'at besides the 2 Rak'at of the Fajr prayer, that is, Sunnah. Hadith 21. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to offer 13 Rak'at of the night prayer, and that included the witr and 2 Rak'at, Sunnah, of the Fajr prayer. Hadith 22. Narrated Anas bin Malik, sometimes Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, would not fast, for so many days, that we thought that he would not fast that month, and he sometimes used to fast, for so many days, that we thought he would not leave fasting throughout that month, and, as regards his prayer and sleep at night, if you wanted to see him praying at night, you could see him praying, and if you wanted to see him sleeping, you could see him sleeping. Hadith 23. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Satan puts 3 knots at the back of the head of any of you if he is asleep. On every knot he reads and exhales the following words, the night is long, so stay asleep. When one wakes up and remembers Allah, 1 knot is undone, and when one performs ablution, the 2nd knot is undone, and when one prays, the 3rd knot is undone and one gets up energetic with a good heart in the morning, otherwise one gets up lazy and with a mischievous heart. Hadith 24. Narrated Samurah bin Jundub, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said in his narration of a dream that he saw, he whose head was being crushed with a stone was one who learnt the Quran, but never acted on it, and slept ignoring the compulsory prayers. Hadith 25. Narrated Abdullāh, a person was mentioned before the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and he was told that he had kept on sleeping till morning and had not got up for the prayer. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Satan urinated in his ears. Hadith 26. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Our Lord, the Blessed, the Superior, comes every night down on the nearest heaven to us when the last third of the night remains, saying, Is there anyone to invoke me, so that I may respond to invocation? Is there anyone to ask me, so that I may grant him his request? Is there anyone seeking my forgiveness, so that I may forgive him? Hadith 27. Narrated Al-Aswad, I asked Aisha, How is the night prayer of the Prophet? She replied, He used to sleep early at night, and get up in its last part to pray, and then return to his bed. When the muaddin pronounced the adhan, he would get up. If he was in need of a bath he would take it, otherwise he would perform ablution and then go out, for the prayer. Hadith 28. Narrated Abu Salamah bin Abdurrahman, I asked Aisha, How is the prayer of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, during the month of Ramadan? She said, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, never exceeded 11 Rak'at in Ramadan or in other months. He used to offer 4 Rak'at, do not ask me about their beauty and length, then 4 Rak'at, do not ask me about their beauty and length, and then 3 Rak'at. Aisha further said, I said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, do you sleep before offering the witr prayer? He replied, O Aisha, my eyes sleep but my heart remains awake. Hadith 29. Narrated Aisha, I did not see the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, reciting the Quran in the night prayer while sitting except when he became old, when he used to recite while sitting, and when 30 or 40 verses remained from the surah, he would get up and recite them, and then bow. Hadith 30. Narrated Abu Hurairah, at the time of the Fajr prayer, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, asked Bilal, Tell me of the best deed you did after embracing Islam, for I heard your footsteps in front of me in paradise. Bilal replied, I did not do anything worth mentioning, except that whenever I performed ablution during the day or night, I prayed after that ablution as much as was written for me. Hadith 31. Narrated Anas bin Malik, once the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, entered the mosque and saw a rope hanging in between its 2 pillars. He said, What is this rope? The people said, This rope is for Zainab who, when she feels tired, holds it, to keep standing for the prayer. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Don't use it. Remove the rope. You should pray as long as you feel active, and when you get tired, sit down. Hadith 32. Narrated Aisha, a woman from the tribe of Bani Asad was sitting with me and Allah's Apostle, peace and blessings be upon him, came to my house and said, Who is this? I said, She is, so and so. She does not sleep at night because she is engaged in prayer. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said disapprovingly, Do good deeds which is within your capacity, as Allah never gets tired of giving rewards till you get tired of doing good deeds. Hadith 33. Narrated Abdullāh bin Amr bin al-As, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said to me, O Abdullāh, do not be like so-and-so who used to pray at night and then stopped the night prayer. Hadīth 34. Narrated Abdullāh bin Amr, once Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said to me, I have been informed that you offer salat, prayer, all the night, and observe sawm, fast, during the day. I said, yes, I do so. He said, if you do so, your eyesight will become weak and you will become weak. No doubt, your body has right on you, and your family has right on you, so observe sawm, for some days, and do not observe it, for some days, offer salat, for some time, and then sleep. Hadīth 35. Narrated Ubadah bin as-Samit, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, whoever gets up at night and says, what means, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah. He is the only one and has no partners. For him is the kingdom, and all the praises are due for him. He is omnipotent. All the praises are for Allah. All the glories are for Allah. And none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and Allah is great, and there is neither might nor power except with Allah. And then says, what means, O Allah, forgive me. Or invokes Allah, he will be responded to, and if he performs ablution and prays, his prayer will be accepted. Hadīth 36. Narrated Abu Hurairah, that once Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, your brother, that is, Abdullāh bin Rawaha does not say obscene, referring to his verses, amongst us is Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, who recites his book when it dawns. He showed us the guidance, after we were blind. We believe that whatever he says will come true. And he spends his nights in such a way as his sides do not touch his bed. While the pagans were deeply asleep. Hadīth 37. Narrated Nafi, Ibn Umar said, in the lifetime of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, I dreamt that a piece of silk cloth was in my hand, and it flew with me to whichever part of paradise I wanted. I also saw as if two persons, that is, angels, came to me and wanted to take me to hell. Then an angel met us and told me not to be afraid. He then told them to leave me. Hafsah narrated one of my dreams to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Abdullāh is a good man. Would that he offer the night prayer, Tahajjud. So after that day, Abdullāh bin Umar started offering Tahajjud. The companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to tell him their dreams that Laylatul Qadr was on the 27th of the month of Ramadan. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, I see that your dreams agree on the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and so whoever is in search of it should seek it in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Hadīth 38. Narrated Aisha, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, offered the Isha prayer, and then got up at the Tahajjud time, and offered 8 Rak'at, and then offered 2 Rak'at while sitting. He then offered 2 Rak'at in between the Adhan and Iqamah of the Fajr prayer, and he never missed them. Hadīth 39. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to lie down on his right side, after offering 2 Rak'at, Sunnah, of the Fajr prayer. Hadīth 40. Narrated Aisha, after offering the Sunnah of the Fajr prayer, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to talk to me, if I happened to be awake, otherwise he would lie down till the Iqamah call was proclaimed, for the Fajr prayer. Hadīth 41. Narrated Aisha, after offering the 2 Rak'at, Sunnah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to talk to me, if I happened to be awake, otherwise he would lie down. Hadīth 42. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was never more regular and particular in offering any Nawafil than the 2 Rak'at, Sunnah, of the Fajr prayer. Hadīth 43. Narrated Aisha, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, used to offer 13 Rak'at in the night prayer, and on hearing the adhan for the morning prayer, he used to offer 2 light Rak'at. Hadīth 44. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to make the 2 Rak'at before the Fajr prayer so light that I would wonder whether he recited al-Fatiha or not. Hadīth 45. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullāh, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to teach us the way of doing istikhara. Istikhara means to ask Allah to guide one to the right sort of action concerning any job or a deed, in all matters, as he taught us the surahs of the Quran. He said, if any one of you thinks of doing any job, he should offer a 2 Rak'at prayer other than the compulsory ones and say, after the prayer, what means, O Allah, I ask guidance from your knowledge, and power from your might, and I ask for your great blessings. You are capable and I am not. You know and I do not, and you know the unseen. O Allah, if you know that this job is good for my religion and my subsistence and in my hereafter, or said, if it is better for my present and later needs, then you ordain it for me and make it easy for me to get, and then bless me in it, and if you know that this job is harmful to me in my religion and subsistence and in the hereafter, or said, if it is worse for my present and later needs, then keep it away from me and let me be away from it. And ordain for me whatever is good for me, and make me satisfied with it. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, added that then the person should mention, his need. Hadīth 46. Narrated Abu Qatada bin Rabi'a al-Ansari, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, if any one of you enters a mosque, he should not sit until he has offered a 2 Rak'at prayer. Hadīth 47. Narrated Anas bin Malik, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, led us and offered a 2 Rak'at prayer and then went away. Hadīth 48. Narrated Abdullāh bin Umar, I offered with Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, a 2 Rak'at prayer before the Zuhr prayer and 2 Rak'at after the Zuhr prayer, 2 Rak'at after Jumu'ah, Maghrib and Isha prayers. Hadīth 49. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullāh, while delivering a sermon, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, if any one of you comes while the Imam is delivering the sermon or has come out for it, he should offer a 2 Rak'at prayer. Hadīth 50. Narrated Mujahid, somebody came to the house of Ibn Umar and told him that Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, had entered the Kaaba. Ibn Umar said, I went in front of the Kaaba and found that Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, had come out of the Kaaba, and I saw Bilal standing by the side of the gate of the Kaaba. I said, O Bilal, has Allah's Apostle, peace and blessings be upon him, prayed inside the Kaaba? Bilal replied in the affirmative. I said, where did he pray? He replied, he prayed between these 2 pillars, and then he came out and offered a 2 Rak'at prayer in front of the Kaaba. Abu Abdullah said, Abu Hurairah said, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, advised me to offer 2 Rak'at of Duha prayer to be offered after sunrise and before midday. Itban bin Malik said, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and Abu Bakr, came to me after sunrise and we aligned behind the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and offered 2 Rak'at. Hadīth 51. Narrated Ibn Umar, I offered with the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, 2 Rak'at before the Zuhr and 2 Rak'at after the Zuhr prayer, 2 Rak'at after Maghrib, Isha and the Jumu'ah prayers. Those of the Maghrib and Isha were offered in his house. My sister Hafsah told me that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to offer 2 light Rak'at after dawn, and it was the time when I never went to the Prophet. Hadīth 52. Narrated Amr, I heard Abu Ash-Sha'atha Jabir saying, I heard Ibn Abbas saying, I offered with Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, 8 Rak'at, of Zuhr and Asr prayers, together and 7 Rak'at, the Maghrib and the Isha prayers, together. I said, O Abu Ash-Sha'atha, I think he must have prayed the Zuhr late and the Asr early, the Isha early and the Maghrib late. Abu Ash-Sha'atha said, I also think so. Hadith 53. Narrated Muwarriq, I asked Ibn Umar, do you offer the Duha prayer? He replied in the negative. I further asked, did Umar used to pray it? He, Ibn Umar, replied in the negative. I again asked, did Abu Bakr used to pray it? He replied in the negative. I again asked, did the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to pray it? Ibn Umar replied, I don't think he did. Hadith 54. Narrated Abdur Rahman bin Abi Layla, only Hani narrated to me that she had seen the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, offering the Duha prayer. She said, on the day of the conquest of Makkah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, entered my house, took a bath and offered 8 Rak'at, of Duha prayers. I had never seen the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, offering such a light prayer, but he performed bowing and prostrations perfectly. Hadith 55. Narrated Aisha, I never saw the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, offering the Duha prayer, but I always offer it. Hadith 56. Narrated Abu Hurairah, my friend, the Prophet, advised me to do 3 things, and I shall not leave them till I die. These are, to fast 3 days every month, to offer the Duha prayer, and to offer witr before sleeping. Hadith 57. Narrated Anas bin Sirin, I heard Anas bin Malik al-Ansari saying, an Ansari man, who was very fat, said to the Prophet, I am unable to present myself for the prayer with you. He prepared a meal for the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and invited him to his house. He washed one side of a mat with water, and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, offered 2 Rak'at on it. So-and-so, the son of so-and-so, the son of Al-Jarud asked Anas, did the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, use to offer the Duha prayer? Anas replied, I never saw him praying the Duha prayer, except on that day. Hadith 58. Narrated Ibn Umar, I remember 10 Rak'at of Nawafil from the Prophet, 2 Rak'at before the Zuhr prayer and 2 after it, 2 Rak'at after Maghrib prayer in his house, and 2 Rak'at after Isha prayer in his house, and 2 Rak'at before the Fajr prayer, and at that time nobody would enter the house of the Prophet. Hafsah told me that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to offer 2 Rak'at after the call maker had made the adhan and the day had dawned. Hadith 59. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, never missed 4 Rak'at before the Zuhr prayer and 2 Rak'at before the Fajr prayer. Hadith 60. Narrated Abdullāh al-Muzani, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, pray before the Maghrib, compulsory, prayer. He said it thrice, and in the 3rd time, he said, whoever wants to offer it can do so. He said so because he did not like the people to take it as a tradition. Hadith 61. Narrated Marthad bin Abdullāh al-Yazani, I went to Uqbah bin Amir al-Juhani and said, is it not surprising that Abi Tamim offers 2 Rak'at before the Maghrib prayer? Uqbah said, we used to do so in the lifetime of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. I asked him, what prevents you from offering it now? He replied, business. Hadith 62. Narrated Mahmud bin Rabi'a al-Ansari, that he remembered Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and he also remembered a mouthful of water which he had thrown on his face, after taking it from a well that was in their house. Mahmud said that he had heard Itban bin Malik, who was present with Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, in the battle of Badr saying, I used to lead my people at Bani Salam in the prayer, and there was a valley between me and those people. Whenever it rained, it used to be difficult for me to cross it to go to their mosque. So I went to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and said, I have weak eyesight and the valley between me and my people flows during the rainy season, and it becomes difficult for me to cross it. I wish you would come to my house and pray at a place, so that I could take that place as a praying place. Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, I will do so. So Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and Abu Bakr came to my house in the next morning after the sun had risen high. Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, asked my permission to let him in, and I admitted him. He did not sit before saying, "Where do you want us to offer the prayer in your house?" I pointed to the place where I wanted him to pray. So Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, stood up for the prayer and started the prayer with takbir, and we aligned in rows behind him, and he offered 2 rak'at, and finished them with taslim, and we also performed taslim with him. I detained him for a meal called qazir, which I had prepared for him. Qazir is a special type of dish prepared from barley flour and meat soup. When the neighbors got the news that Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, was in my house, they poured in till there were a great number of men in the house. One of them said, "What is wrong with Malik, for I do not see him?" One of them replied, "He is a hypocrite and does not love Allah and his apostle." On that, Allah's apostle said, "Don't say this. Haven't you seen that he said, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah, for Allah's sake only'?" The man replied, "Allah and his apostle know better, but by Allah, we never saw him but helping and talking with the hypocrites." Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, replied, "No doubt, whoever says, 'None has the right to be worshipped but Allah,' and by that he wants the pleasures of Allah, then Allah will save him from hell." Mahmud added, "I told the above narration to some people, one of whom was Abu Ayyub, the companion of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, in the battle in which he, Abu Ayyub, died, and Yazid bin Muawiyah was their leader in Roman territory." Abu Ayyub denounced the narration and said, "I doubt that Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, ever said what you have said." I felt that too much, and I vowed to Allah that if I remained alive in that holy battle, I would go to Medina and ask Itban bin Malik if he was still living in the mosque of his people. So when he returned, I assumed ihram for Hajj or Umrah, and then I proceeded on till I reached Medina. I went to Bani Salim, and Itban bin Malik, who was by then an old blind man, was leading his people in the prayer. When he finished the prayer, I greeted him and introduced myself to him, and then asked him about that narration. He told that narration again in the same manner as he had narrated it the first time. Hadīth 63. Narrated Ibn Umar, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Offer some of your prayers in your houses, and do not make them graves."